Have you ever felt overwhelmed with all that's going on in the world? Sometimes we don't realize that we can make a difference. My name is Debbie Van Grieken, and it is my hope to inspire you to take small steps towards social impact. Join us each week as we have conversations with those who have taken simple steps towards living a more sustainable and socially conscious lifestyle. If you want to make social impact, let's start small. The Small Steps podcast is proudly sponsored by Moya Shea Products. As a listener, enjoy 15% off your online purchase. Use code SMALLSTEPS15 at checkout. At Moya, we believe in people helping people. Supporting the local and global communities that help our organization succeed is very important to us. We apply a fair trade framework when purchasing raw materials, supporting farmers and families. Thinking global and acting local, Moya works with organizations to better the lives of children through education and fair trade. Are you looking for the best moisturizer for beautiful, healthy, glowing skin? Our Shea products are superb moisturizers and have exceptional healing properties for those suffering from skin issues. Check out these products and our wellness line at moyasheabutter.com. Welcome back to the Start Small podcast. I'm your host, Debbie Van Grieken, and today I'm happy to be joined by Sarah Valiant, who is the owner of Earth Love. Sarah has always had a passion for helping the environment. However, it wasn't until her daughter was born that she realized she needed to take more serious action. She believes that our children have the right to inherit an earth that has been loved, not destroyed. Earth Love produces all natural, zero waste cleaning products packaged in compostable packaging. Earth Love produces laundry detergent, toilet cleaner, dishwasher tablets, all-purpose cleaners, Eucalyptus shower melts, and their latest product is a travel-sized laundry tablet. They endeavor to have every single one of their business practices be as green as possible while maintaining low prices to ensure that everyone has access to zero waste living. Hi, Sarah. It's so great to have you here today.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to speak with you today.
So tell everybody where you are in the world.
So I am in Oakville, Ontario in Canada. And my business, Earth Love, is just in Western Mississauga, so pretty close by.
That's wonderful. So do you have like a brick and mortar kind of store, or is it mostly online?
Yeah, well, our store, we don't have a store per se. It's we sell wholesale. Okay. So I just have some offices with a warehouse, and that's where we produce everything.
Excellent. That's wonderful. Yeah. So I just love hearing how mompreneurs get started. You had kind of talked to us a bit. I mentioned in the bio that you're a mother, and this kind of started you on your journey. So why don't you share with us kind of what happened? I know you said you were always an environmentalist, but this kind of was a changing moment for you.
Definitely. I think I've always been very concerned about the environment, but it was more on a personal level and what I can do. And actually, it wasn't until we went on a family trip to the south of England. We were staying in this tiny little town in the middle of nowhere, and we would go to this little beach every day. And there was no one there, no tourists, anything. And every single morning, it would be covered in plastic. And so we would spend the time cleaning it up and then enjoy the day. But it just got me thinking, like, we are not near a port. We are not near a big city. This is coming from somewhere far away. There is no small corner in the world that is avoiding this.
Right.
And that's when I realized that basically for my daughter's future, like something really big needs to change, and I need to ramp up what I'm doing onto a bigger scale.
That's incredible. Yeah, I think we've all kind of had those moments, and we're seeing a lot more evidence of the problems with ocean plastics. And like you said, there's just no place that's untouched now. And so tell us what you're kind of doing now. What kind of products do you have, and how is it making an impact?
So we make all natural and zero waste cleaning supplies. So we have laundry detergent, dishwasher tablets, toilet cleaner, all-purpose cleaner, and we also have shower melts, which is more of a personal care item. And they are all natural ingredients. all sourced with local ingredients as well. And they are all packaged in compostable packaging. And we sell to about 100 different smaller eco stores across North America.
That's amazing. And how long have you been in business?
Oh, my goodness. 2018 is when I started formulating.
Okay.
So it's been 3 years, but I actually didn't really ramp up until the Green Living Show in Toronto. And that was March 2019. And that just sort of opened the door. I went to that show and then had 30 wholesalers within 2 weeks. It was crazy.
Wow.
But it just sort of showed how much of a demand there was. And it was really interesting. I got into it right as thousands of small zero waste stores just started popping up. Yeah. Everyone wanted products like these, which is great and exciting.
Thank goodness.
Yes, it's so exciting that so many people want this, because that's the only way we're going to change anything. You've got to change the demand. If they don't want all of these polluting products anymore, then they're hopefully going to start producing less of them.
Right, exactly. I mean, I'm always preaching that we vote with our dollar, and our power is in our purchasing power. So if we are not purchasing those items, they're not going to make them anymore. So if we're spending all of our time and efforts on, zero waste, low waste, sustainable products, fair trade, that's where they're going to start putting their efforts, which is, what needs to happen. So
exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
So without giving away, your trade secrets, obviously, tell us a little bit about the ingredients that you use and kind of the process in how you're making these products be sustainable and still safe, because I imagine these are all really good for us to be using, non-toxic and things like that.
Exactly. I mean, I spent probably 6 months actually in my kitchen at the very beginning, just formulating and coming up with, they're fairly simple ingredients, which is what I wanted. And then also trying to keep the ingredient list minimal. Because when you start having, 10, 12, 15 ingredients, you start to lose the idea that it's green, because everything you add to a product is increasing the footprint. So I wanted to keep them as simple as possible. All of our suppliers are sourced from mostly Canada, North America. I just wanted to keep them as simple as possible. So everything is, I would say it's four ingredients or less is what we're working with for pretty much every single product. They're all natural. So we're working with things like citric acid, baking soda, sodium carbonate, sodium percarbonate, a bunch of essential oils. And up until now, we have been making them sort of in an artisan way. They were all handmade.
Right.
And once we started hitting the 75 store mark, that really seemed to me that this is not sustainable anymore. We can't be making this for that many stores. So we moved into a larger warehouse and just purchased a tableting press that we're still trying to get to work properly, because we're dealing with things with humidity now. But so now we're finally going to be able to do these tablets on a bit of a bigger scale, so I can get to more people, which is really the goal, because the more people we can get to, the better.
So talk to me about packaging, because this is, as an entrepreneur, this is a major frustration for me, as well. Because, you're not only looking for, good packaging, eco-friendly, compostable packaging and stuff, but you've got to be able to get it, and you need to know that your supply chains are fair and equitable, and, you're trying to lower that footprint of how far it's coming. So are those some of the challenges that you've experienced, or do you have some kind of magic formula you can share with other entrepreneurs?
It was a lot of research. It was just hours and hours and hours. And there's unfortunately not a ton of compostable or biodegradable packaging suppliers in North America. There are quite a few in actually Asia and Australia, but I didn't want to be shipping them in from there.
Right.
So that was limiting me in what I could use. So to start, we used compostable and biodegradable paper bags, which at times were not the most durable items
Right.
to ship in. And then the second item was the label. Like, how am I going to get a label that's compostable? And there are a couple of companies in North America, thank God.
Mm-hmm.
But again, there's not a lot, and we need more companies making these things because there's a huge demand. We just switched over from the bags to boxes. And I'm most excited about these because not only are they compostable and biodegradable, but they're also made with 97% recycled content.
Awesome.
Because I don't want our product then cutting down more trees just to like package them. So that was a big deal for me. And I was really excited when we were able to switch over to that.
Speaking of trees, you have a little partnership with One Tree Planted. So can you explain what that organization does and how you work with them?
Yeah, well, they plant trees all over the world where they are needed most. And in my partnership with them, every single order we receive, we plant a tree. And sometimes I pull our customers and ask them, where do you want to plant them? Because we're able to choose where we want to plant them in the world. And it's just a really big deal for me. I would say I'm pretty panicked about the air quality we have and the Earth's lungs, the rainforest, and then the Canadian boreal forest that is being rapidly destroyed for toilet paper mostly.
Right.
So getting involved with them was sort of, at least in a small way, helping us offset what is going on in the world. But that part is a little stressful for me. I founded a collective called the Green Guardian Collective, and we are starting to talk about urban forests. And that just really means finding small plots of land that are completely unused, and just having mini forests just planted in them, because there's no reason that there should just be these empty manicured grasslands for no reason. And there's a lot of studies that say that can bring down air pollution by a huge, significant amount. So it's just, I'm really focused on trees, and I think One Tree Plant is a wonderful organization. And they make it really easy for small businesses to get involved,
Right.
which is amazing, and it's not expensive. So it's just easy for any small business to do something more.
Right. I've loved their organization from the beginning. And I actually live on a farm property. So we have been planting like seedlings since I started, actually thousands of seedlings now, because they don't all.
Oh, wow.
But it's pretty amazing for me to go in the back and watch these trees grow. And we do a lot of things like that to make our property friendly to the wildlife around us as well too. So, the area by our home, we don't cut our grass in May so that we've got the bees can come. And just this year we had, for the first time, we've had deer in the backyard lots of times, but they actually had their babies in our backyard this year, which was really cool. because we didn't cut the grass. So we got some of that on video, which was really cool. And then for me, my business of Maya, we've really got a passion for protecting the trees as well, because our product comes from the shea tree. So in Africa, we purchased a machine that takes agricultural waste and converts it into charcoal for cooking. So instead of chopping down trees, they can supply the village with charcoal and then sell it, and it employs up to 125 women. So that's some of the things we do with our organization to give back and also to protect the environment. So trees are really important. That's true.
That's incredible. Oh,
and
wow.
You've also got a couple other correlations that you work with. I noticed some of your packaging. Do you want to touch on that?
Yeah. So we buy no issue shipping tape. It's actually one of my big pet peeves, because one of the other things we do is, for all of our shipping boxes, we collect from friends and neighbors and other clients
Mhm.
used shipping boxes and packing materials, so that we're not buying any virgin materials for any of that.
Right.
Um, and often when I'm dealing with these boxes, I've got to take off the plastic sellotape, and it's just so annoying to see it in a bag going to the
Yes.
garbage at the end of the day.
Yes.
So one of the big things I wanted to do was to get a compostable shipping tape.
Right.
Um, and it's cool. You can put your logo on it. But yeah, so it's all
Yeah, actually,
compostable.
behind
You
me,
can
I
just,
have about 8 rolls of it
yeah,
with my logo on it too. I use the
yeah,
same company, so yeah, it's great.
no, it's crazy the amount of plastic that's used just in shipping. It's nuts. And also, most people don't take the tape off when they recycle it. So they can end up not getting recycled and just
Right.
going into the garbage.
Right.
So
Yeah, that was
that's
one of the things I
another,
really found frustrating as well. That was one of the things we switched as well. We use the same no issue. So we've got our branded tape as
yeah,
well. And yeah, just I love it. It's yeah, I feel like it's these small things, right? We're all about taking small steps. And it's if
yeah,
every small business, every medium, large business
yeah,
actually did these things, we would see
exactly.
huge impact.
Huge impact, because every little bit helps. And the more people
Exactly.
that do these tiny little things, but the problem is a lot of people don't have time to do the research, and requires a lot of research. So I
Right.
think it's great that you're doing podcasts like these, because small business owners can just listen to them and get all the info.
Exactly.
So
And then our
really,
listeners, they like to feel like they can make a difference. And if some of these topics are so overwhelming, and that was the
yeah,
whole thing, is we didn't want people to be overwhelmed to the point where they felt they couldn't make a difference or they couldn't do anything.
yeah.
They could just take small steps. So why don't you share with us maybe some actions that our listeners can take at home that they'd be able to reduce their plastic waste that ends up in the ocean?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think when I started moving towards a zero waste lifestyle, it can be really daunting, because when you look at everything you have, everything is packaged in plastic.
Mhm.
So to think that you've got to replace pretty much everything in your house, it's really scary. And
Right.
you're thinking, how am I going to do this? So the best way to approach it is just go room by room, product by product, and just start small. Pick something, find a replacement for it. My favorite is dental floss. You can
Yes.
get refillable glass or steel canisters for floss. And so now, and a lot of the floss is compostable. A lot of the companies that make them are compostable floss. And so, yeah, just pick something. And once you get going, you get really excited for the next switch and the next switch. And it just propels you, and you just get really excited about it. And then I think if you could just share those changes that you've made on Instagram or Facebook with your friends and your family, then it can help spread the word of some pretty cool things that you can try.
That's some great advice. And yeah, we just did an episode called the Start Small Challenge. So it's a 7-day challenge. And each day we asked our listeners to participate in that daily challenge. And it's a way of getting in a good mind frame, a good mindset for living a more sustainable lifestyle. So, for example, we went through day 2, I believe it was going through your bathroom cupboards and making sustainable swaps. So we looked at, ditching the plastic bottle of liquid soap and putting bar soap and bamboo facial rounds instead of the cotton balls and things like that. So lots of great information and tips. And so our listeners can check out the podcast called the Start Small Challenge, and also follow us on Instagram, where you can participate in that challenge, tag us, take photos, and we'll post those on our site so people can follow along as you make these changes. So
That's great. And thanks so much. I'm really curious, what's some of your favorite products that you are making now and you think are a must have for our listeners at home?
I would say the one I am most proud of is the all-purpose cleaner. And even more so now because with our new press, we're making the tablets more concentrated and tinier. And so it's just a tiny little tablet. You drop it in a spray bottle. You can add vinegar or water or a diluted mix of vinegar. And that's your all-purpose cleaner. That's all you have to do. And it means that you don't have to store tons of liquid bottles of cleaner everywhere. It's in a tiny little package, takes up no space. And that's it. It's just easy. And I think that's the main concern for most people when they're going to a green or zero waste lifestyle. They think it's going to be difficult. It's going to be a lot of steps. And that's what we want to eliminate. We want to eliminate the barriers. So that's probably one of my favorite products, definitely.
And on your website, we're going to have in the show notes all your contact information and your website. I'm assuming that you have a list of retailers that will have your products available. Are you across Canada? Are you into the United States yet? Where is most of your products found?
Yeah, we're definitely across Canada, and not every province, but really close, and all across the states too. Eastern states, some in the Midwest, and then a bunch in Western states. So we're pretty much everywhere. Still expanding, but a lot of the stores too are online based. So if you're not near a brick and mortar store, you can definitely get to one of the online stores and order the products from them.
Excellent. And I'm assuming, I think I found you through Instagram. So you must have an Instagram account.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
so make sure we have that in the show notes so people can follow you and learn more about your journey. And I just want to say thanks so much, Sarah, for taking the time to talk with us today. I love what you're doing. I can't wait to try some of the products. I'm pretty close to
get you some.
Yeah, I'm pretty close to you. So I'm actually in Lowbanks, which is right on the Lake Erie shore. So probably about an hour and a half from you. So yeah, we'll definitely have to connect in the future.
That sounds great. Thank you so much, Debbie.
It was so great to talk to you. Thanks again.
Thanks, Debbie.
Thank you for listening to Start Small. I hope you enjoyed today's episode and found a small step you can take today. Make sure you share it with a friend. And if you've not done so yet, make sure you hit the subscribe button. And if you are enjoying this podcast, consider taking a moment and leaving us an honest review in your Apple podcasting app so more people can be inspired to take small steps towards social impact.